Well, finally the saga's over, ladies and gentlemen. It is official. Chelsea takeover has been completed, but we've got a lot of things to talk about in regards to transfer news. So let's get it going.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, breaking, Roman Abramovich has completed the sale of Chelsea Football Club and related companies to an investment group led by Todd, Boehly and Clearlake Capital. We all knew this was coming on Monday, and this is exactly what's happened. Breaking, Boehly, our vision is clear. We want to make fans proud along with our commitment to developing the youth squad and acquiring the best talent. Our plan of action is to invest in the club for the long term and build on Chelsea's remarkable history of success. This is fantastic. Nothing that we already didn't know. The Chelsea takeover means that the club is no longer subject to the sanction imposed on Roman Abramovich and can look ahead to secure long-term future. Ladies and gentlemen, the mega store is up and running. So if you want to go online and buy some Chelsea merchandise, go ahead and do so. Let's celebrate. The sanctions are now over. The club can now completely focus on transfers in, out, whole heap of contract negotiations for players that our contracts are coming to an end. And yeah, just Chelsea is back. Like, we've got our football club back. That's all that matters. And I thank Roman Abramovich for being, I suppose, so no issues throughout this whole sales saga. He didn't prove to be a hurdle at all. So I thank him for being supremely nice, and I thank him for being such a amazing club owner, one of the best that the football world has ever seen, if I'm being absolutely honest, let alone Chelsea owner. Chelsea have agreed several further conditions to ensure that the new owners continue to provide equity funding for future capital and operating expenditures, and that the club will not be laden with inappropriate financial indebtedness. I mean, here's another example of, Roman Abramovich making sure Chelsea is in the right hands, and all these clauses is guaranteeing, hopefully, that we as fans are looked after as well. The club is looked after, and I think Todd Boehly is someone. He was always interested in getting Chelsea. 2019 was the first time he actually put a bid. He put an offer, and obviously Roman at that time declined that situation. But it seems like he actually cares and he wants to do well with Chelsea Football Club. Look, nothing lasts forever. I'm sure he'll have an exit plan, much like every other top businessman out there. They always have an exit plan down the track. But for the time being, I think we're in great hands for at least for the next 10 years. Jose E. Feliciano and Baghdad Boehly, these are, I think, people from Clearlake Capital. Together, we will expand the investment across infrastructure, technology, and sports science to support the incredible Chelsea Football Club and commercial teams, all with the goal of leveraging this growth of fuel even more on-pitch success, which is fantastic. Further on goes to say, breaking sanctions lifted, as we already saw that news. UK government spokesperson, the club is now no longer subject to sanctions imposed on Roman Abramovich, an individual who has enabled Putin's brutal and barbaric invasion of Ukraine. And once again, UK government, there's no stopping them. Just keeps talking about the Ukraine war invasion and how Roman's the one who's, invading Ukraine. Look, all these sanctions that you've put on Chelsea, at the end of the day, you did not hurt one bit Roman Abramovich. You've hurt us. So UK government, I don't know what they're thinking at times. There's no logic behind any of these craziness, but it is what it is. It's over now, and we move on. Okay, now I want to talk about some transfer news. There was an article from Simon Johnson in the last about 24 hours or so, specifying who Chelsea is linked with, what Chelsea wants to do. And I read that article, and I'll have to say, there was so much waffle from Simon Johnson, so much speculation. And I want to showcase some of these speculations to you guys and try and make sense of some of these things. So let's go and check it out. Sources suggest Chelsea are monitoring Achraf Hakimi again after losing out last summer, while Sergino Dest is on the club's radar. Now, I've told you about Sergino Dest quite quite a few times already in this particular channel. One, because Barcelona's financial issues as well. The other factor is they're looking to get Azpilicueta, Christensen, Alonso, and Dest could be part of that whole deal as a swap option. Barcelona's financial crisis means they're going to have to let go of players, and Dest was not someone who's just been linked now, but he was linked during January as well when we had that issue with Ben Chilwell. The other factor about Achraf Hakimi, this is the big news. Achraf Hakimi apparently back in radar. Now, I don't understand how this is possible. He's got a contract till 2026. I know there's a rumor out there, or there's some reports out there that he does not get along with the South American players over there, and it's becoming unattainable at the moment. He wants to leave. And if that's the case, Achraf Hakimi, you're such I have to say this, you're such an idiot. You followed what your wife wanted to do, go to France, and you've gone there. Now you don't seem to like it. But I don't see how this happens, that Chelsea gets him. We tried to get him last season, undoubtedly, but he chose PSG because his wife likes the Paris, lifestyle. I don't know if I want that type of a player anymore, if I'm being absolutely honest, who does not know what they want now, all of a sudden wants to leave. And the reason why Simon Johnson was saying this, and here's the issue with the whole article, he was saying that Chelsea are just, weary that there could be a possibility that Reece James could leave. Reece James got 3 more seasons left, I think, or 3 more years left in his contract. So does Mason Mount, 3 or 2. One of the biggest things that Todd Boehly has to do now with Thomas Tuchel is to tie down Reece James and Mason Mount for a long-term contract. And they deserve it. They 100% deserve it. I've got no doubt Reece James wants to stay at Chelsea Football Club along with Mason Mount. There is no way, the article Simon Johnson was saying, Man City's keen, Real Madrid's keen. I can't see how Reece James leaves Chelsea Football Club for one of those teams. So that's where I'm a bit confused when Simon Johnson's talking about Achraf Hakimi. Honestly, I can't see how this happens. 2026, Achraf Hakimi contracted to, God knows how much that money is going to be. On top of that, I don't know if we want that type of character to come in again, who doesn't seem to know what they want, goes to PSG because his wife wanted to, now all of a sudden doesn't get along with the South Americans over there. And then on top of that, Reece James potentially leaving Chelsea. I highly, highly doubt any of this is legit. But the Sergino Dest situation is 100%. I think there is some legitimacy there because Azpilicueta was deputizing in the right wing back position, and we're looking for a right wing back, someone who can back up Reece James. So for me, that makes sense. Now, the article further goes on to say about Emerson. Now, this is something I tweeted out earlier UK time. Sometimes I honestly don't understand how certain news makes sense. Apparently, Emerson is loved by Tuchel, yet he was the one who went on loan to Lyon and not Alonso. If he was loved, then why did he leave in the first place? Who's making our decisions? I mean, I don't understand. That Simon Johnson article in The Athletic was saying that we are perhaps looking into keeping Emerson, and apparently Thomas Tuchel is a long-term admirer of Emerson. Now, is this a strategy to not get a left-sided player, which we badly need? I mean, look, Emerson may not be a bad player, but we're not going to sit here. We've seen him now for 3 seasons or 4 seasons. He's got 2 more seasons left, I think. Are we going to sit here and say, do you know what? Emerson is not a bad backup to Ben Chilwell. Like, we've gone through that path. If Thomas Tuchel really admired this guy, why did this guy go on alone? Why did, when Thomas Tuchel come in last season, not the season that finished, the first season when Thomas Tuchel was around, why was Emerson not played ahead of Alonso? Emerson barely played in that first season under Thomas Tuchel, and when he did play, generally played as an LCB. He barely got opportunity as a left wing back. It was Alonso that was getting favoured. And then again, this season that just finished, Emerson's the one who's gone on alone. I mean, are we going to sit here and say, Thomas Tuchel admired Emerson so much, but he still let him go? Why didn't we sweeten a deal for Alonso? Why didn't we pay some parts of his loan fee to wherever he wanted to go? Because he was rumoured to Inter Milan. He was rumoured to a few other teams as well in Italy. Why didn't we look for a solution with Alonso, who did not fit as opposed to Emerson, who apparently was admired. It just doesn't make sense. I feel like this is all a bit of a smokescreen to say that, oh, we're not going to invest on the left side. For me, it will be criminal if we don't invest on our wing backs. More than anything, defenders, we need to invest anyway because a couple of our defenders are leaving. If we add Aspilicueta and Alonso, then we definitely need to add defenders. But the wing backs are the biggest issue from last season. One of the biggest issues why we did not do well. So for me, even if we don't do anything in midfield, even if we don't revamp the forward attack, wing backs and defense is criminal if you don't do that. And if you think keeping Emerson is going to be making sense, we've seen it. We've seen it far too many times. Tuchel's, I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys okay to keep Emerson? You let me know. Tuchel's budget is dependent on outgoing, so he will also look from within. Levi Colwell is thought of potential emulating Trevor Chalobah. Dujon Sterling is rated by Tuchel, whilst Ethan Ampadu, Armando Broja, and Gilmore will get a chance to impress. Once again, Dujon Sterling, I don't want to see him as a right wing-back option. I think we need to go out there and get someone proper. If we want to bridge the gap, I get it. We can't buy everyone in this window. I completely understand. But the wing-backs is an area I don't think we should be compromising, if I'm being absolutely honest. Ethan Ampadu, as I said, midfielders, I'm not completely upset. I'm not going to be completely upset if we don't revamp that. Ethan Ampadu can feature. Billy Gilmore can feature. So we have few options there. We don't necessarily have to go out there and splash money. I would like it, with the likes of Jorginho and Kante, God knows what's going to happen with them to revamp that. But we've got some options that we can rely on. I don't think in the wing backs we've got options. Levi Colwell, we've already talked about. He needs to get an opportunity. As much as he's got that own goal in the championship playoffs and Huddersfield didn't make it, look, at the end of the day, I feel he's going to be a superstar. He's a very, very good left-sided defender. So he's not going to be a starter, but he's someone I think Thomas Tuchel will definitely have a closer look. Now, Simon Johnson's report further goes on to say Lautaro Martinez is under consideration by Chelsea with Nkunku, whilst Ousmane Dembele cannot be ruled out. The fact he is free agent was the reason he was added to Chelsea's wish list earlier on this year. Now, I think the Dembele situation, my recent video, you guys would have seen, this player is legitimately a big chance for us. So check that video out. As I said, Barcelona in financial crisis. Not many other teams out there looking to go for PSG. For Ousmane Dembele, PSG being one of them, but they've ruled them. I think Ousmane Dembele or even PSG has ruled themselves out. Ousmane Dembele, big chance for us. In terms of Lautaro Martinez, once again, look, I don't understand where these rumors are coming from. Where do we fit in Lautaro Martinez? What's going to happen? We'll look into the Romelu Lukaku situation very soon. This would have made sense last season. Instead of Romelu Lukaku, maybe a Lautaro Martinez would have fit our front three. But this season, I'm not really sure whether I can see this happening. And Nkunku is another one that is gaining in pace in terms of rumor. But there's many other clubs that's interested in Nkunku. I've got my reservations around Nkunku as well. I know he's a fantastic player. Check out my recent video where I touched on this as well. So you let me know. The whole Lautaro Martinez, I don't think it's massive speculation from Simon Johnson. I feel like Ousmane Dembele, huge opportunity. In talks with Chelsea, Tuchel, Romelu Lukaku is hoping that they will be open to adapting the style of play at times. This is from Dean Jones. Now, there's two sides of the coin over here. One side is saying that Romelu Lukaku is going out there and he's sending his agents to Milan and whatnot to see if he can come back to Inter Milan. And then there's this other side where it seems like Romelu Lukaku wants to work with Chelsea Football Club and he wants to see how the whole scenario will adapt to his playing style and adapting to the styles of the play at times. So look, I get the feeling if there is an opportunity for Lukaku to go back to Inter, I think he'll take it. At the same time, maybe if all things are closed, he will give it his best shot with Chelsea. But for me, I don't like that. When you're in between, if this happens, then you'll take it. And if it's either you want Chelsea or you don't. And right now, it feels like maybe Romelu Lukaku, perhaps fancies a return. I don't know. I get the feeling he's that type of a character. We've seen what he was capable of saying in his infamous interview last season. Marcos Alonso to Barca is gaining speed. Agreement found on personal terms, and the club believes Chelsea will not cause problem. Needs to happen. We need to get rid of Marcos Alonso undoubtedly. Christopher Nkunku is unconvinced by the Newcastle project, while Chelsea and Manchester United could be set to submit offers. We've touched on this in the last video. Check that out about Christopher Nkunku as well. Chelsea are interested in signing Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur target Lautaro Martinez, according to The Athletic. As I said, I don't see how this is legitimate anymore. I mean, Ousmane Dembele, Lautaro Martinez, if he comes in, then Lukaku 100% go. Like, Lukaku is probably going to Inter Milan. He's to join up with his so-called boyfriend. He loves Lautaro Martinez a lot. Imagine, Lukaku going there and Martinez come to Chelsea. Honestly, I can't see it happening. Tottenham for Lautaro Martinez with Antonio Conte, that is probably a big shout because he's worked with Antonio Conte. So for me, that makes more of a sense as opposed to Thomas Tuchel going for Lautaro Martinez. Lewandowski is linked with us, so that makes more sense because Thomas Tuchel knows a lot about Lewandowski from Bundesliga, and apparently we were one of the contenders last season with Robert Lewandowski. The whole Lautaro Martinez, I'm not really sure about that. Now, more Lukaku situation. Inter CEO Marotta, Lukaku and Dybala negotiations, we're not in a rush. We'll need to be creative this summer. On Perisic set to join Tottenham, we respect his decision. He wanted to try Premier League challenge, and we did our best. We wish him all the best. So Perisic to Spurs, as we've already reported in previous videos, it's done and dusted. It's going to happen. Here we go. Spurs will make that announcement very soon. In terms of Lukaku, looks like Inter Milan may be interested. Inter to offer Chelsea 50 million paid upfront for a year loan for Romelu Lukaku with a buy option of between 50 to 60 million plus weekly wages of 7 million after tax. Rudy Galletti, sports editor, TV, did it say? TV opinionist, 34K followers. Calcio Mercato expert. I mean, look, this seems juicy to me. 15 million euros upfront and then 50 to 60 million. I think that would probably be what we can recoup from this particular situation. Weekly wages as well. See, this is what I mean. When you can spice up a deal like this for Romelu Lukaku, you're telling me you can't spice up a deal for Alonso when Emerson apparently was admired by Thomas Tuchel. So look, this could probably happen. And if this happens, then we're definitely going to have to look into the whole Lewandowski. I don't know how Lautaro Martinez becomes an option. Nkunku probably could be an option. Don't forget, Kai Havertz has been playing up there. Me personally, I don't want to see Kai Havertz as a striker for us. I think he's a very good second striker. So we will probably have to be in the market if Lukaku leaves. What happens with Armando Broja as well? Interesting times ahead. Lukaku and Inter Milan are hoping for a summer reunion in the form of loan move, largely funded by Chelsea. Once again, look, Lukaku comes across a particular individual, he would entertain this. I think he's egotistic. I feel like, I know Thomas Tuchel in recent press conferences said, no, there's no ego with this particular player, this, that, the other. I think the damage has been so deep with Chelsea and Chelsea fan base, he could perhaps entertain this. His agent is apparently in Milan, and this is the news confirmed. The lawyer representing Lukaku will be in Milan tomorrow to meet the management of Inter. He's talked about how much he loved Inter in that infamous interview. And under Simone Inzaghi over there, they had a good preseason conversation last season, and Lukaku didn't want to leave Inter. He wanted to find a solution with Inter Milan, but Inter Milan could not afford him at that time, the wages that he demanded. This could probably happen, which would mean we need to be in the market for a striker. Dembele as the winger, and we definitely then need to look at a striker with Werner as well. His future up in the air, most likely leaving. So watch this space. The the whole Lautaro Martinez, could it really happen? I'm not really sure. And Nkunku could be an option then. Lewandowski is someone we definitely need to look into with Barcelona. I don't know how they actually get to do that. So for me, if I was a man, taking a punt over here, I'd probably think it'd be Lewandowski if Lukaku was to leave for a couple of seasons. But ladies and gentlemen, you let me know how you feel about all these news that we've gone through. Official Chelsea takeover completed. The whole Lukaku situation, Ousmane Dembele, Achraf Hakimi, the whole Simon Johnson, article with 30. Comment below. Would love to know. Hope you've enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here and you've enjoyed it. If you're here for the first time, subscribe as well. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I'll see you guys early tomorrow for another Chelsea news, transfer news update, transfer bonanza. So do look out for that. Until next time. See ya.